Hello, in this vlog we will try to understand the differences between food costing and diet costing. Now, first of all, the fact that we have two methods, full and direct, that can give different cost figures implies that there is no one absolute method. So we can choose two methods. Now the point is that either one is right and the other is wrong, or they're both valid but should be applied in different contexts. Now let's assume that the second choice is true, so we cannot say that direct is correct and full is wrong or vice versa, but really those two methods have different contexts of application. Now let's try to figure out, let's try to understand when to use one or the other. Imagine you have two products, product A and product B, and you calculate the full cost and the direct cost for both products. Now, if you use the same markup to find the price, of course, adding the markup to the direct cost, you will get a price lower than the price that you will get adding the same markup to the full cost, because full cost is bigger than direct cost. So now we'll end up with two different prices, one high price and one low price. But what can you do with that? Which price should we use? It's difficult to say. We don't know, for example, by using the lower price, how much we might increase sales, and if this increase in sales will be enough to offset for the loss of margin. And because we are selling more, if the margin that we gain for higher sales offset the one that we lose because of a lower price. It's a big question. It's not easy to answer. So we should change perspective. Now let's make this reasoning. Let's start with the current price that we're using for selling product A and product B. So we don't want to change the price. We use current prices. Now we calculate the margin with the full cost and the margin with the direct cost. Let's say that using the full cost, product A gives us a margin of 20% and product B gives us a margin of 30%. Now, if we use instead direct cost and we calculate the margin using the same prices, we get, let's say, 50% with product A of direct margin and 40% with product B direct margin. Now, you see, the situation is completely reversed. So, if we use full cost, then we should push product B. If we use direct cost, we should push product A. So, what should we do? Now, to give an answer, we must introduce the concept of a capacity constraint. Now, imagine you're running at low capacity, so you have a lot of underutilized capacity. In this situation, you better use your direct cost margin to decide about which product to push. Why? Because virtually, if you have an unused capacity, it means that you don't have any marginal additional cost or fixed cost if you produce one additional unit. So really there's no differential increment in fixed cost. So if we sell 1 unit of product A, we will get 50% margin. If we sell 1 unit of product B, we will get 40% real margin. So this will be cash margin. Now, if we are close to full capacity, it means that we are saturated. That means that if we produce 1 unit of product A, then we have to not produce 1 unit of product B. So we have to make a choice. In that sense, we better push product B, because product B earns 30%, while product A earns 20%. So, by producing and selling 1 unit of product B, we have the opportunity cost of 20% loss margin from product A, but then we have a net 10% of additional margin because we sell product B unit with 30% margin, and then we lose 20% of product B or product A because we don't have enough capacity. So to make a long story short, before taking any decision on which system to use, be very careful, considering all the aspects. If you're full capacity, if you're not, what is the real margin, direct margin, full margin, and many other aspects which should be considered. But in this vlog, I just want to give you the essence of the general logic. Now, if you need additional information on it, or if you want to make a checkup in your company, just feel free to contact me for an initial consulting assignment, or just to organize an half-day seminar with your top managers just to introduce this key concept about cost management. Thank you.